So firstly, I want to talk about what is lucid dreaming. Normally, when you dream, you don't really know that you're dreaming. You're just caught in the flow of whatever is happening. But a lucid dream is different. It's a dream where the dreamer becomes fully aware. They realize that they are dreaming. So then some people will even train themselves to see the signs. For example, in dreams, clocks don't tick properly and light switches don't work the way they should. And lucid dreamers use these things as clues to realize that they're dreaming. And once you realize you're dreaming, something amazing can happen. You can actually control the dream. Think of this state like stepping into a video game or a virtual reality space with no limits and infinite possibilities. So what will people do there? They will fulfill their deepest desires. And as we know, there are a lot of lonely people out there. So this brings us to our first level of lucid dreaming. So with this amazing power, many people use lucid dreaming to summon their crushes. And some even go further, creating entire long-term relationships inside their dream world. Because in that space, nobody rejects you, nobody leaves. It's exactly the connection you want, on your own terms. So one Redditor writes, I have fallen in love with a girl while lucid dreaming, but I can't remember her face. I can only remember the way her skin felt and the warmth of her body against mine. We made love in my dream, and even though I knew it was only a dream, she stood on my mind all day. Her existence has been burned into my brain, and I cannot help but feel depressed and lonely. There are moments when I get mad at myself and say it was just a dream, but my heart won't seem to understand that. I know her every feature except her face. She has short reddish orange hair, she has a Caucasian complexion, and she stands at around 5 feet 6. She just seemed to get me in every way possible, mentally, emotionally, even physically. I feel like dying when I realize I may never see her again. I don't know what to feel. Now, lucid dreaming is not as easy as it seems. There are a lot of dangers with this activity. If we look into the science, we see that while you're lucid dreaming, there's a shift of brain activity in the direction of waking. For this to happen, several brain regions that shut off during REM, like the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and the precuneus, reactivate. Additionally, there's an increase in overall cortical connectivity and greater activity in the gamma band of frequencies. But as these processes occur, there's a danger that you will get stuck in the twilight zone, where you would have consciousness, but the paralysis of REM still remains. So before we continue with the other levels, I want to talk about the sponsor of this video, Manta Sleep. As the warm season heats up, Manta Sleep is here to help you beat the light. I've been using a Manta Sleep mask for the past couple weeks to block out all the little rays of light from the sides of windows, TV screens, and all the disruptive elements in an otherwise dark room. And personally, I really like it. I've been personally using Manta Pro, as it's perfect for side sleepers, with the cool eye cups to keep my eyes and sinuses cool. If you need a soothing voice in your ears to help you sleep, then you should probably get the Manta Sound with its built-in adjustable Bluetooth speakers. And there are just so many options to choose from, according to your needs. So guys, get your Manta Sleep mask today with my coupon code ASAFAIL, and the link is also in the video description and pinned comment. So let's talk about level 2, aliens and alien abduction. So in the Twilight Zone, seeing something like an alien abduction suddenly becomes quite possible. In fact, researchers in Moscow have found evidence that suggests that it's very likely that the people who report seeing or being abducted by aliens might have actually been lucid dreaming. The researchers started by noticing a pattern. People who report alien encounters often describe being in a dreamlike state, and many also describe feeling paralyzed. So they ran a study with 152 adult lucid dreamers. Each volunteer was asked to deliberately dream of an alien encounter, and here's what they found. 24% of those who described their dreams as realistic also experienced paralysis and intense fear, almost identical to the language used by people who swear they were abducted. So what conclusion can we draw from this? Well, the feelings inside a lucid dream can be so vivid, so overwhelming, that the dreamer generally can't believe that it really happened. At level 3, we need to talk about mirrors, because once you leave the material world, the self becomes something very strange. And in lucid dreams, mirrors take on a very eerie importance. A lot of people say you shouldn't look into mirrors while lucid dreaming, and interestingly they say the same about psychedelics too. But here's the difference. The dream world can be more trippy, even more ethereal than being on shrooms. On the lucid dreaming subreddit, there was one redditor that said, The first time I saw my reflection, it was me, but then with the right half of my body eaten away. Another said that I saw my reflection as my dead great-grandfather, and it made me stop lucid dreaming for a while, and I'm still very careful to avoid going near them, referring to mirrors. So I found this guy who claimed on a Hypixel server of all places that if you manage to look in a mirror in a lucid dream, you will end up in the back rooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has hurt you. Though I'm not sure if he was memeing or not. At level 4, things start to get much darker. Many lucid dreamers report seeing shadowy figures, tall, silent, watching. And this is often linked to one thing: sleep paralysis. This is a state where your body is frozen, caught between waking and dreaming. Your mind is aware, but your body refuses to move. And in that terrifying gap, the imagination goes wild. Think about it. Our culture is saturated with imagery of horror. Faceless monsters, demons, killers lurking in the dark. So when sleep paralysis hits, those cultural fears come back to life. And the dream projects them into your room, standing in the corner, or sitting on your chest. It's kind of the same mechanism we saw with the alien abduction level, only this time instead of spaceships, we see the monsters we grew up with. And it makes you wonder, if today's dreamers see shadow people, and modern culture makes us think of horror films, what about the past? I wouldn't be surprised personally if ancient Arabs in that same state saw jinns, or if medieval Europeans saw demons. I think the figure changes with time and culture. At level 5, we need to talk about the most notable figure people claim to see in dreams: God. Throughout history, divine encounters in dreams have shaped entire religions. In the Gospel of Matthew, Joseph receives guidance from an angel of the Lord. He's told to accept Mary as his wife, despite her mysterious pregnancy. And later, he's warned in another dream to flee with her to Egypt, escaping King Herod's plan to kill the infant Jesus. In the Quran, Prophet Ibrahim is commanded by Allah in a dream to sacrifice his son as a test of faith. A dream so powerful, it became a central story for millions of believers. And even emperors weren't immune. Before the Battle of the Milvian Bridge, Constantine dreamt of a shining cross in the sky with the words, "By the sign you will conquer." He followed this vision and changed the course of history. And it doesn't stop there. From pagan myths to Eastern scriptures, dreams of gods, spirits, and divine beings are everywhere. Humanity has always looked in the dream world for signs from beyond. And a more atheistic explanation of this would be a combination of sleep paralysis and lucid dreaming. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. So thanks for watching. And if you have ever had a dream that felt divine, or even strange enough to stick with you, drop it in the comments below. I would love to hear about it.